Awesome. I'm from Pennsylvania, so not anywhere near here, and then went to school in Boston. So I've only been here for a few years, but I love it. It's
Good.
awesome.
And I'm assuming that that music brought you out to LA, I would imagine.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
Exactly.
cool. What's your between, living in East Coast and West Coast, what's like your favorite difference?
I think so. I always think of LA. So we drive across the country because I don't fly. So me and my boyfriend drive home to Pennsylvania for two different points in the year. So it's actually four cross-country road trips a year, which is a lot. But when we get back to LA, you basically enter, in my mind, and what I call it is Barbie Land, where like the sky is blue and there's no cloud to be seen. Everything is so colorful and vibrant and the sun is shining and it's just like beautiful. And you come from like even just like driving from Arizona, it's like all like it's a little bit grayer, a little bit duller, a little bit more like dusty, and then it's just gray everywhere else. And so my favorite thing is the Barbie Land aspect of it. But I do love Pennsylvania and the East Coast in the spring and the fall are the best obviously because it's like seasons. But there is something so like nice about how hydrated everything is on the East Coast that like when you're there in the summertime or even just like in the spring, all the green is so green and everything is so like rich in color and it smells good. I honestly I kind of just love everywhere in their own ways. But but yeah, favorite difference is probably Barbie Land.
That's a really good way to describe it. And I know that it's not quite as dramatic, but even driving from Northern California to Southern California, I talk to my wife about it all the time. Every time we hit a certain point on the 405, getting close to LA, you just
Yeah.
suddenly feel like this like sense of like refreshment, like this like weight off my shoulders. It feels anytime I'm headed down south, there's like this one same spot I hit every time between the 5 and 405 where I just
Mhm.
feel so relieved of everything. And you
It's
just,
just such a good feeling. It
yeah,
just everything is like, "Oh, wow." It's just good vibes. I love it.
yep, and that's what we live for. We live for the good vibes.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I guess yeah, you asked it earlier, but how are you today? How are things going?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Um, yeah, it's a cloudy day right now, and it was really sunny yesterday, and we went to the beach. And now it feels nice to like it's cloudy. I got some stuff to do today. So again, good vibes.
Good vibes. I love that. That'll be the
Yes.
theme of today's chat. Will be good vibes.
Love it.
But yeah, thank you. I will just kind of jump into a couple questions for you. I was stoked to come across your music. I think I was scrolling through my Spotify, and I had seen your name, and then I happened to get an email from one of the groups that works with you guys, and I was like, wow, like what a crazy coincidence. I actually just saw Avery's name the other day, and so I was really
Wow.
excited to get a chance to connect with you and chat a little bit, and excited to show obviously some of our followers your music and get to know you a little bit.
Totally. Awesome.
So let's first question. If you were talking to someone who has never heard of Avery Lynch, what would you want them to know about you as a person or an artist?
Uh, so something that I actually ended up making my Spotify bio because it's such a known thing is that I am a happy girl filled with sad songs, and it is very apparent. I'm a very animated person. I am very bubbly. I love I love a good vibe, right? But and even like when I'm performing, I'm like making a bunch of jokes in between, like it's like half like a stand-up set and then half tragic songs. And there is some weird like overlap between that that happy side and then all of my really sad songs. And for whatever reason, they make so much sense to me, and I don't think they make that much sense to other people. But I'm not sad. I want to make that known. I am not sad. I love writing songs about uh scenarios that are kind of that like unrequited love situation. I love relationships and love, and like my favorite movies are Little Women and 500 Days of Summer, which are both kind of known for their like unrequited love, weird kind of that kind of stuff. I just love it. It's like a huge interest of mine. I have two older sisters, so I'm one of three girls, and all of my friends, they all go through breakups, and my sisters go through breakups, and their relationships and their things that they're realizing about themselves and all this stuff. And I just kind of like writing about it, to be honest. So it's not even like it's just like an interest of mine, I guess, is like the topic of the songs that I write. But as an individual, I'm actually more of a happy guy. But I do actually love listening to sad music. I basically like make the music that I listen to for the most part. Um, Something about it, like even at the gym, I'm listening to sad songs. It's just a fun. I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but I think I would want that to be known that you don't have to worry. I'm not sad. I just
That
write
just
sad
means
songs.
that just means you have a great outlook on life. You're just very in touch with your
Yeah.
emotions, and that's absolutely okay. And that's an amazing thing, and it's clearly working in
Yeah.
your music.
Thank you.
I can relate to that on a very deep level. I my number one genre, like I am a total hardcore punk, screamo kid, and but in person, like in my job, everything, I am very positive, outgoing. But then people like want to listen to music with me. They're like, what the hell are you listening to? This is crazy. This
Yeah.
doesn't fit you
Like,
at
are you
all.
really angry? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm like, I
Are you
promise
gonna
I'm
punch
good.
someone? That's so funny. Wow.
Tell us, you kind of answered it a little bit, but tell us about your songwriting process, kind of where do you get your ideas and your inspiration from?
Totally. I would say probably like 60% of my songs are about my own life personally. The other 40% is either about someone in my life. They might not know that the song is about them. Only one situation was that, which was actually my last song to come out, Think About It. That is the only song I have where the person who I wrote the song about knows that I wrote the song about them because they asked me to write it. Outside of that, they have no idea what songs are about their situations. I kind of like to keep it vague so that they can relate to different things in different ways because it is pretty like general in general, I guess. But yeah, I mostly write about like situations that I know, but at the same time, a lot of my songs are about things that have never happened at all. Like not even to anyone I know. Like it's just a scenario I made up in my head and I'm like fully into it. Also sometimes I have like basically, for example, my next song that's coming out is about a real like person I had in my life and a it was a very close friendship that like ended pretty badly and I don't know that person anymore and it's kind of about like the me not knowing them anymore aspect and I said like I kind of wrote in some things that would make it so that person wouldn't know that it's about them. So like cuz they would listen to it and be like, "Wait, that didn't happen though." So I do things like that too to kind of just like also protect people's like feelings and like their situation and whatever to try to be like, well, this isn't about you because I said this whole thing that just didn't even happen. But sometimes I take inspiration from certain situations and use like memories from like my ex-boyfriend. Like my song Useless Information. Sorry, I'm giving a lot of examples, but my song Useless Information is one of my favorite examples of this. I wrote it about my old managers that I had
Mhm.
we stopped working together and they had my mom's address, my dad's address, my credit card numbers. They had all this stuff about me. And I was like, they just have that now? And useless information is actually about that. And I pulled some things from my ex-boyfriend from high school. And I was like, oh, I could use that. And I could make this like a breakup song, even though this is literally about my managers knowing my credit card information.
Yep.
So
That's awesome. Does it ever
yeah,
make you
so
feel like
there,
a little bit in a little bit in control knowing like you know exactly what it's about, but everybody else doesn't necessarily know?
yes.
Is it kind of fun to
I'm
know
kind of like
that?
the game maker a little bit. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I just I'm kind of playing God a little bit when I write songs. I'm like, this situation happened to me, but not really. And
Heck
you don't
yeah.
know that, and you don't know that. But it is pretty fun. I kind of like jumble a bunch of real life things and add some not ones, and then that is how a song is born for the most part for me. But the songwriting experience is pretty fun because I get to get very creative and kind of like write a book almost in my head, and then
I
that's
was
what
gonna
the song is.
when you were kind of explaining it, I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of like when you're like reading a novel or it's like you're creating like this like kind of made up world in your head a little bit, and but it's also like you get a chance to actually put it on paper and create art out of it, which is just incredible. So that's awesome. Thank you for
Yeah.
that.
Of course.
From what we saw on your Instagram, your latest release, "Think About It," was the first song you produced on, I believe. How was that experience?
It was really fun. So I've been vocal producing for my entire career. I've always recorded myself and edited the vocals and did all of that. Um, but I've never, and I've always like played the piano. Like I always like recorded the actual piano that's like in the song. So I've like been kind of like producing, but not in a way that felt like I was producing where I'm like, ooh, this could use like a sub bass. This could use some kind of high frequency element. This could use some texture. This could use some movement. Like I've never like done that. And I used to think like, oh, that's a thing that I just don't have the ear for. But you're in enough sessions and you listen to enough songs and you try to find, you know, like you're trying to make your songs feel and sound a certain way. And over time, years of doing that, you do get the ear for it, at least enough to like be like, this needs this, maybe something like this. And then that's what I did with my boyfriend, Jordan. He produces basically everything that I do, and he mixes and masters actually everything that I do. And we just had a lot of fun going back and forth. We like both sat on either side of a microphone and we're just coming up with things on guitar and each recording them. Like it's the second verse has these like little guitar kind of like ad lib moments coming in and out. And that is just me and Jordan sitting across from each other, recording different things. We were like, this would be cool, this would be cool. And then we put them all together and it sounded like that. And we were like, oh, that's so
How
fun.
cool.
So we have a lot of fun with the production stuff. And for the remainder of this like project that I'm doing, I've also been producing in it. I'm not good at the that like physical, like on the computer, you move this dial and this knob. Like I can't do that. So I'm not like I'm producing, but I am like sitting right next to him or sitting over here and coming up with an entire element for the production. Or like this needs to feel more like this, like the vocal needs to be dry or the vocal needs to be whatever, that kind of stuff. Um, so we make a good team. The next song that's coming out is also so much of our we both like co-produced that together, and that was even more of like a wow, I'm a producer now, I guess. So
I did it. I made it.
exactly. So all very fun. It was a great time.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the meaning of the song "Think About It"?
Well, yeah, so Think About It is about one of my sister's relationships. Um, a year ago, actually, she came to me and was like, I have this like note in my like notes app that is just like all of these things that I'm feeling, but I can't find a song that's like saying it. Like I can't relate to anything because she was in this kind of like very specific situation that like is definitely relatable, but it is hard to find something to like to match that. So I was like, totally, I can do that. And I essentially kind of zoomed in on the concept of having to piece together like the relationship by yourself after the relationship ended, like having to figure it out all by yourself because like they're nowhere to be found. And that is a very relatable thing. A lot of people go through that because you break up and you do the no contact thing and now you're realizing all this stuff about the relationship. And in her situation it was a little bit more exaggerated. Um and so it was even like I could even stress it more because it was like, wow, you're really just sitting here and thinking about it and having to figure it all out by yourself. And it was really nice to write. Like it felt very like it felt good because I used to write songs for my sisters growing up as like birthday gifts and like whatever. Like I'd be like, oh, I wrote a song. My one sister Mackenzie, I have a song called She's Mackenzie, and I wrote it when I was like 8, and we still like we all know it. It's a great song, and um, it was just cool. Nobody's ever asked me to write a song for them before, um, other than like fans. Like I get those like DMs all the time, but having someone like my sisters are my best friends. Actually, after this, I'm gonna be doing a sisters call with them for like 2 hours.
I love
So
it.
the fact that like someone that close to me who has like watched me this whole time, be like, I want you to actually like write a song about this was so cool. She's a very private person too, so her being like, this is what happened, can you make something with this, was like, oh my God, you like trust me with this. That's crazy. And you also trust me to relay this in a way that isn't like invading your privacy.
Mm.
So because that's also like a major thing. Like I'm not disclosing which one of my sisters. I have two of them, and I try to kind of like keep it pretty discreet, and try to keep the song pretty general. Um, but it was really fun writing it, and it meant a lot to her, and it means a lot to me. So it's just overall really cool. And also to be like the the third single, like one of the singles of the it's just fun. It's just very cool.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, what a cool tie, like, being able to do that, obviously, for your sister of all people, especially. And I have to ask, are your sisters, do they play instruments as well? Are they artists as well themselves, or what are they into?
So they're both creatives, but not in music. It's actually very cool. We all got a little bit of like the creative thing, but we're all very like business minded as well. I actually went to business school and my sisters went to school for like not creative things. But my one sister is she's a website designer. She designed my entire like averylynch.com website beautifully. It's kind of insane. She's also a photographer and she is also a content creator. Highly successful, by the way. Absolutely insane. She completely demolished all of my like 5 years worth of growth in a week. It's
Oh my
insane.
goodness.
So proud of her though. So she's doing that. And then my other sister is um extremely creative. She was like creative writing, graphic design, photography. We're very creative, I guess. I actually wrote a song that's going to be part of this next like burst of songs. One of them I wrote with one of my sisters.
That
Um,
is cool.
and that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, because one of them also does poetry. So it's
Okay.
just all a bunch of like creative outlets and things. But no music at all, actually. My one sister just got a guitar because she was like, I want to get into this. But
Heck yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think it's so cool that, it's so rare. I feel like sometimes these days where an artist, especially like we know, seeing it, like the success that you're seeing, has such a tight knit, that's a group of people around them that are like so
hmm
heavily involved in like your process and like your, quote unquote business. It's really cool that they're all involved in some way, and you're still so close with them. So I wanted to say that's a really cool thing to see.
Thank you. I appreciate that. They actually, when Think About It came out, they texted in my in like our sisters group chat that when they sing along, they're like, "Wait, I sound like Avery, just bad," because we're sisters. We have like similar voices, but they can't like sing. And that was just so funny. But yeah, I love my little tight knit group. I have Jordan, who we work together on everything. I have my one writer, Tanisha, who I grew up with. And we write like everything that I don't write by myself, I write with her. And then I have my sisters, and we're kind of just
How rad.
this little team. I love it.
Well, speaking of kind of tight knit, you have
Yeah.
such a loyal, passionate following. What's your favorite thing about your fans?
They are, first of all, hilarious. They make me laugh every day. Wait, I can show you something real quick. I turned my close friends on Instagram into a place for fans,
Okay.
and I don't tell them how many of them there are, but I post to them every single day, multiple times a day, and it's just kind of literally anything. Like I mainly post things that I eat, and I have a little highlight called Avery Lunch because it's just like food that I love because I'm like a big foodie. I have a bunch of like close friends exclusive content, and it's basically just really embarrassing photos of me, and they do really funny things with them. But basically, my favorite thing about them is they are so funny, and they are also just so nice. Like I have the sweetest, nicest fans ever.
Avery, I
Um,
literally was going through like some of your comments on Instagram, and I was like, these people are so kind. I'm not kidding you. Like they were the sweetest people in the entire world.
they're the best. They're so funny. Um, but I the other day, this is very recent. I posted on my close friends this photo of me eating pancakes. And from that, I got this girl who did the same thing. She's like, "Why are we the same person?" I got this, which is I don't know if you can really see it, but it's me, and then it's Avery Lynch music is the pancakes.
People are so freaking funny.
And then someone made it a sticker. So I just think and that's just like the most recent thing on my camera roll because this was like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
They're just so funny. They're so supportive. Uh they're just like the best community of people. I would do anything for them. I love them so much. So yeah. They're just awesome.
That's so rad. I love that. I'm not kidding. I literally went through some of your comments and I was like, these people are just so like they were just so genuinely supportive, and it made me smile.
Yeah.
Like I actually felt good after reading, which is so rare to do on social media, but I felt
I know,
good
to go
reading
through
your comments.
comments and be like, "Wow, that was nice."
Yeah, it was so refreshing. Um,
Yeah.
but kind of spinning off of of course social media, in today's music world, social media can help elevate an artist's platform so dramatically.
Mhm.
What role has social played in helping launch your success?
It's done everything. It's like the only thing that got my music anywhere. It's exactly where I started was TikTok, and then it's still where I am. So Reels did a cool thing for You're Just a Guy like a year and a half ago, but TikTok has kind of done everything to like bring me to people. I did have a lot of fans find me by thinking that I was Ross Lynch's sister, which is totally fine.
I'll
I'm
take it.
okay with that happening. I'll take it. Because then they stay and they're like, wait, they're not related, but I still like her music. And then now I have some of those people in my close friends. And some people find me like through discovery on like Spotify, but for the most part, it is social media completely, Instagram, TikTok. Um, and it is a love-hate relationship with that, obviously,
Mhm.
but it's what gave me my career, and I'm just trying to kind of build off of that and trying to like move people like to the same places and to the music, and so it's not just all social media, but uh it definitely plays like probably like 90% of the role, which is crazy that it's probably like 80% social media and like 20% music is like actually what the job is, which is definitely not what I expected.
Yeah.
But it's just the time we're living in,
Yep. I feel
unfortunately.
like there was like a window in the past, a window of time where people were kind of like resistant to wanting to like, make their mark. It was like sparked by social media, but now it's really cool that that's kind of that dynamic has shifted where now it's like, hey, if you can get your launch here, like why not take advantage of that? Because you have these, hundreds of thousands and millions of people all on one platform. Like, get as many eyes and ears on your music as you possibly can. So I think that shift has
Yeah.
been really cool to witness.
Yeah, and like posting on TikTok is very much like it's a void completely. Like you just don't even have to really think about it. Like this could go to no one or this could go to everyone and it doesn't even matter. So there has been like a level of pressure that is like been taken off since probably like 2021. Um Now like it's a little bit more casual, but you always need like your song to do well at least once on a social media platform or else the song isn't going to do well, and that's a little bit stressful before releases, but yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
is what
sure.
it is.
um, the other song we will be featuring in this episode is "The Boys Who Don't Know What They Want," which I am so stoked because I absolutely adore this track. You're just saying like all the things that boys need to hear.
Yeah.
What do you hope boys learn from this song?
Um, I hope they just don't string people along when they aren't sure how they're feeling. I just think that they take a long time to figure it out. And then at that point, and girls do it too. It's just from my own perspective, so it's boys. It's just kind of like a people thing, but I don't like it. I don't think they should do that anymore. So I think it's just kind of the notion that like this is a thing that you guys do and we're aware of it and we're done with it, and maybe it's like oh, they like know they know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I'm not sly, you know what I mean? Like I think maybe that is the takeaway. Also it just feels good to like I'm done doing that. Having other people being like, yeah, I'm done doing that is like also just like nice, like everybody can kind of relate to it. But yeah, I don't know, they need to figure out what they want. That's the takeaway.
Hell yeah, love that. Maybe we should just solve the world's problem and put every boy between like 18 to like 30 in one big arena and make them listen to this
Yes.
song on
And make
repeat
them
for a little
listen to that
bit.
song. Yeah. Now that and then You're Just a Guy and it's sold.
Yes. We'll fix so many relationship problems across the world.
Exactly.
You have a playlist on Spotify called Abe's Faves. Who on that
Yes.
list would you most like to collab with?
Ooh. Okay, let me see. I don't know if I have Sleeping at Last on that. I hope I do. If I don't, I need to add that. But um oh, I do. But I just have I'll keep you safe. Regardless. Sleeping at Last is like one of my all-time favorite artists that I grew up listening to. I used to listen to him on the bus to school to like in seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, like literally all middle school and high school. And he has super duper inspired my songwriting and like storytelling, and then also just like musical elements. My like more recent stuff like Rain and Somebody New, and I have like Someone's Coming too. They're very inspired by his kind of like cinematic soundscape that he does. I just love it so much. I think it's so cool. And I basically kind of like was inspired by that, and also just everything else that I grew up with being kind of more like pop singer-songwriter centered. But I'm
Hmm.
also very like musical. I like started on piano. I am quite good at piano, although I don't display that a lot in my songs. And guitar and just like general instrumentation. I'm like a very musical person, and leaning more into like, wow, this is a very cool like type of sound that I used to compose piano like. Why don't I just basically merge my compositions and my songwriting into one? And then that's how Rain became Rain and Somebody New. And then we have some, again, some other ones that are coming that are like that too. Um, and so he is someone that like I say all the time in like every like team meeting I have, like, who do you want to collaborate with? Sleeping at Last, Sleeping at Last, Sleeping at Last. I DM'd him. He has not seen it, I don't think. He doesn't know that I exist, but that would be like a dream come true. It'd be crazy.
Well, let's speak this thing into existence, and hopefully, in
Yes.
the coming months, we get a good response.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What should everyone listening or your fans have on their radar? I mean, upcoming releases, tour, what's on the horizon?
I have mainly just upcoming releases. No performances are scheduled, but um, a lot of songs that I'm really, really excited about. Um, and we have a very like strong lineup for a pretty decent amount of time. So I think it's just like buckle up. We got like a lot of music coming. And it's all very exciting. And I got a lot of comments from like my sisters and my team and like people who know me personally that are like, wow, you just have like this one and then this one and then this one. Like these are our favorite songs. And so I'm just excited for those to like see the world. But yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm very excited to hear the new music, Avery, and I can't thank you enough
Thank you.
for hanging out with me today for a little bit. I will be sure to let you know when they're about to release the episode, but I just want to say thank you so much, and you're absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much. This was so lovely. I really appreciate you wanting me to do this. And thank you so much. This was wonderful.
You're so welcome, and I'm officially of course a follower on social, but also on the Abe's Faves playlist on Spotify. So I'll be listening whenever anything
Heck
new
yeah.
comes on there.
Heck yeah.
But really excited to continue to support you, and again, Avery, thanks so much for hanging out. You're absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much. Bye.